Every day is a new chance to move closer to the life you want. It doesn't matter where you started or what challenges you've faced. What matters is the choice you make right now. Motivation isn't about waiting for the perfect moment or feeling ready. It's about deciding to take action, even when it's hard. The truth is, success comes to those who refuse to give up, who keep pushing forward, no matter what. You have the power to change your story by focusing on what you can control: your effort, your mindset, and your daily habits. Remember, progress isn't always about giant leaps. It's about small steps taken consistently. When you commit to showing up every day, working on yourself, and staying determined, you build momentum that can't be stopped. This moment is yours. Use it, step into your strength, and start shaping the future you deserve. Let's get started. Number 1, wake up early to start living with direction. Most people wake up when they have no other choice. When the alarm keeps ringing, when someone knocks on the door, when responsibility forces them to get up. That's not control. That's not purpose. That's just reacting to life. If you want to live a life that means something, you need to start taking charge of how your day begins. Waking up early is one of the most powerful ways to do that. Not just because of the time it gives you, but because of the message it sends to yourself. When you rise early by choice, you're telling yourself that your goals matter. You're telling yourself that your time has value. You're telling yourself that you are no longer going to sit and wait for life to happen. You're going to meet the day head on. Direction starts with discipline. If you can't win the first hour of your day, it's hard to win the rest. Waking up early builds discipline, and discipline builds direction. It gives you time to breathe, time to think, time to prepare. Not just for the day, but for your life. You get ahead by choosing to move before the pressure kicks in. You stop waiting for the outside world to dictate your schedule. You stop rushing. You stop stumbling out of bed with stress already waiting for you. You move with order. You move with clarity. There's something powerful about being awake when everything around you is still. That silence gives your mind room to focus. You're not answering messages. You're not reacting to noise. You're not dealing with requests. That's your time. Your energy is not scattered. Your mind is not pulled in 10 directions. You can finally hear your own thoughts. You can check in with yourself. What do you want today to look like? What matters most? Who do you want to become? Those questions have answers, but they don't come when you're rushing through the day without thinking. They come when you create space. That space begins early in the morning. When you wake up early, you give yourself a chance to lead. You're no longer just another person trying to keep up. You become someone who starts on your own terms. You can write down your goals. You can plan your priorities. You can train your body. You can read something valuable. You can pray or reflect or just sit quietly. You can do the things that most people say they don't have time for. But the truth is, they do have time. They just don't get up early enough to use it. Living with direction doesn't mean you always know exactly where you're going. It means you wake up each day with the intention to move forward, to grow, to improve, to take ownership of your path. When you rise early, you're making that intention clear. You're showing up. You're saying, I'm here, I'm ready, and I'm not waiting for life to decide for me. You start to notice that the quality of your days changes. You're calmer. You're more focused. You're not starting from behind. You're ahead. You've already had time to think, plan, and align yourself. You don't feel lost in the middle of the afternoon wondering where the day went. You know where it went because you led it from the very first hour. It doesn't take a big change to shift your life. It just takes a consistent decision. You don't need to wake up 3 hours earlier tomorrow. You just need to start earlier than you did yesterday. Maybe it's 10 minutes. Maybe it's 30. The key is not the amount of time. The key is the habit. The act of rising early tells your brain that your life is important, that your time matters, that your goals deserve attention. You will feel resistance. Your body will want to stay in bed. Your mind will try to make excuses. That's normal. That's not a sign to quit. That's a sign that you're doing something that matters. Every time you wake up early, when it's hard, you're building strength. You're building control over your own decisions. And that kind of control leaks into every part of your life. You make better choices. You stick to your value. You stop living on autopilot. There's a quiet pride in being up before the world, in knowing you didn't waste the most important part of your day. That pride grows into confidence, and that confidence turns into momentum. You carry that energy into everything you do. People around you notice. You're not dragging. You're not complaining. You're moving with purpose. You're moving with direction. People often say they feel lost, that they don't know what they're doing, that they're just going through the motions. If you've ever felt that, look at how you're starting your day. Are you getting up with purpose, or are you waking up only when you're forced to? That one change, getting up early, can give you back control. It can give you time to decide what matters. It can give you the space to grow. Direction doesn't happen by accident. It happens by decision. You need time in the morning to check in with yourself, to say, here's what I believe, here's what I'm working on, here's how I want to live. You need that moment before the demands of the world rush in. That's how you build a foundation. That's how you keep from getting lost in distraction. That's how you stay grounded in your values. And don't let anyone convince you that waking up early is only for certain types of people. You don't need to be naturally disciplined. You don't need to be a morning person. You just need to care enough about your life to rise for it, even when it's hard, even when you're tired. You get up because you believe your time is worth something. You get up because you know that living with direction is not something you wait for. It's something you create. Keep choosing to wake up early. Keep choosing to meet your life head on. Keep choosing to move with purpose. Direction is not something life gives you. It's something you take back by deciding that how you spend your morns is how you build your future. You may not have control over everything, but you do have control over how you start your day. And that's where everything else begins. Number 2, get out of bed before the world begins. There is a certain kind of power that comes from being up before the noise starts, when you rise before the world begins to move. You give yourself a head start that most people never experience. That moment in the early morning, when everything is still and nothing is demanding your attention, is a gift that only belongs to the few who choose to claim it. Getting out of bed early is not just about starting your day sooner. It's about taking ownership before the distractions arrive, before the rush begins, before anyone else places their expectations on you. It's a quiet window where you get to choose what matters most and act on it without interruption. People often say they want change, but they wait until the day is already controlling them. They respond to alarms, messages, obligations. But what happens when you wake up before any of that even starts? You move first. You make decisions while your mind is clear. You take actions when the energy is still yours. That's how self-leadership is built. Not in the loud moments, but in the silent ones where no one is watching, and you still show up for yourself. When you get out of bed before the world begins, you claim a moment of peace that belongs entirely to you. That moment can shape everything. There is a sense of mental strength that builds when you choose discomfort over delay. When the bed is warm and you still get up, you're practicing control. When it's easier to stay asleep and you choose action, you're creating inner momentum. That discipline becomes part of your identity. You don't need to be pushed anymore. You become someone who moves forward by choice. That kind of mindset doesn't develop by chance. It comes from repeated action, especially when it's hard. Getting up early is a small decision, but it trains your will in a way few things can. This isn't about trying to impress anyone or following a trend. It's about respecting your time and proving to yourself that you won't let it slip away. The early hours are not filled with pressure. They're filled with opportunity to think, to write, to reflect, to move your body, to plan. You don't need a long list. You just need a few solid actions that align with what matters to you. When you do that before the world begins, it sets a tone that carries through the rest of the day. You walk into your responsibilities knowing you've already done something important. You're not behind. You're in control. Most people wake up reacting. They jump into conversations. They check their phones. They rush to meet the demands of others. But if you get out of bed before all that starts, you take back your decision-making power. You're not reacting. You're choosing. You don't let the world decide your mood or your focus. You shape it yourself. That feeling of control doesn't come from luck or motivation. It comes from building a habit of showing up early for your own life. You may feel tired at first. That's expected. Your body will try to negotiate with you. It will ask for more sleep even when it's not needed. You'll hear excuses in your mind, reasons to stay under the cover. But if you ignore them and rise anyway, you'll notice something important. You'll start to feel proud of yourself. You'll begin your day with a win, and that win will echo into every other part of your routine. Each time you get up early, you stack a little more belief in yourself. You start to see yourself as someone who follows through. That belief is more valuable than any shortcut. Getting up before the world doesn't mean you always jump into action immediately. Sometimes it means just sitting in stillness, drinking a glass of water, writing your thoughts down, planning your next move. The important part is that the time belongs to you. No one is demanding anything from you yet. That rare silence helps you think deeper, and thinking clearly leads to better choices, and better choices lead to better results. There are things you've probably told yourself you would do if you had more time. Maybe it's reading, maybe it's taking care of your health, maybe it's journaling or working on a personal goal. Those things don't require hours. They require commitment, and the best time to act on them is before distractions begin. The earlier you rise, the more protected your time is. No messages, no meetings, no interruptions, just space, just your thoughts, just you moving with purpose instead of pressure. When the world is still asleep, you're not competing with anyone. You're not performing. You're just building a mind that's prepared, building a body that's energized, building a spirit that's aligned with where you want to go. That kind of preparation doesn't come in the middle of chaos. It comes in the quiet. It comes in those early moments when you made the decision to stand up while others continued to rest. If you look at people who stay consistent and perform at high levels, you'll find that most of them start their days earlier than the average person. Not because they're better, but because they've trained themselves to time. They've trained themselves to respect the morning, and they've learned through experience that how you begin influences how you continue. If you start with purpose, you tend to stay in purpose. If you begin scattered, you spend the rest of the day trying to catch up. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Even if you don't feel like it, you get up. Even if it's not convenient, you keep the promise. That's how self-respect grows. You show yourself that you matter enough to follow through. You prove that your goals deserve attention before everything else gets in the way. And that attention begins the moment you decide to get out of bed while it's still quiet. Your environment can't give you direction. It can only respond to the energy you bring. When you rise early, you're no longer chasing time. You're walking ahead of it. You're starting from a position of strength. You're doing the work before the day can distract you. That mindset builds confidence, and confidence builds results. Even 10 extra minutes in the morning can create space you never had before. Use that time wisely. Use it to become better. Use it to become clearer. You're not waiting for permission. You're not hoping for motivation. You're deciding. You're acting. You're showing up before the noise begins. And every day you do that, you get one step closer to the kind of life that's lived with intent instead of reaction. Number 3, take ownership of your life by rising early. When a person rises early, it's more than just waking up before the sun. It's a personal decision to stop waiting and start leading. It's a signal to yourself that you're no longer okay with drifting. You're stepping into your day with intention, with responsibility, and with full control over how your time is going to be used. Taking ownership of your life starts with small choices that add up. And waking up early is one of the most important ones. It's you deciding that no one else is going to set your pace, and no one else is going to manage your hours. You will. There's a different kind of energy that comes from being the one who moves first. Not because the world pushed you, but because you chose to. That choice builds internal power. It builds accountability. You no longer say things like, I didn't have time, or the day got away from me. Because you got up early. You created time. You took the first step. That's what ownership looks like. Not waiting for motivation, not waiting for conditions to be perfect. Just doing what needs to be done, starting from the very first hour. You take ownership when you stop making excuses for your time. You stop blaming your schedule or your job or your energy. You stop acting like life is something happening to you and begin acting like it's something you're actively building. Rising early gives you the space to reset that mindset every day. It gives you time to align your actions with your goals before anything else interferes. You don't have to check your phone. You don't have to answer to anyone. You just show up for yourself and take back the first moments of your day. Most people don't even realize how much time they've lost because of late mornings. They wake up late, and the first thing they feel is stress. They're already behind. They're rushing, skipping steps, forgetting things. And that rush carries into their mood, their decisions, and their productivity. But the person who rises early feels something completely different. They feel ready. They've already had a moment to breathe. They've already looked at what needs to be done. They've had time to prepare mentally, emotionally, physically. That edge matters. That difference shows up in how they carry themselves. When you decide to take control of your mornings, it often spills into the rest of your life. You begin to notice your thoughts more clearly. You become more aware of your habits. You stop letting the day decide for you, and instead choose how you want to live it. Ownership is not about control over everything. It's about control over your decision. And waking up early is one of the first decisions that shapes the rest. In the early morning, there's no one pulling your attention. There's no pressure from work or people. You are free to focus, free to work on some meaningful, free to build the habits you've been putting on, whether it's reading, writing, exercising, or planning. That time becomes a personal investment, not an obligation, but an opportunity. That's where real growth begins. In the quiet moments before the rest of the world starts talking. When you get up before you have to, you stop being a follower of the clock. You stop being dependent on alarms or schedules. You become proactive. You say to yourself, I'm not going to be pushed anymore. I'm going to take the lead. That one mindset shift can change your entire relationship with time. And when your relationship with time changes, your relationship with life changes. Because time is your life. Every minute you waste is a piece of your future you'll never get back. But every minute you use well becomes a brick in the foundation of the life you want. No one else can give you discipline. No one else can give you direction. No one else can give you the drive to rise early and move. That has to come from within, from a sense of personal responsibility, from a decision that says, my life is mine, and I'm going to lead it. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to act consistently, quietly, early. Some mornings will feel hard. Your body will ask to rest more. Your mind will try to find reasons to stay in bed. But that's when you remind yourself why you started. You remember what happens when you let the day lead you instead of leading the day. You remember what it feels like to take control, and you rise anyway. That small act of getting up becomes a powerful declaration. I'm here, I'm awake, and I'm responsible for what happens next. You might not see dramatic results right away, but over time, everything starts to change. You begin to feel different. You gain more clarity. You stop living in constant reaction and start living with purpose. You stop putting off the things that matter. You stop waiting for permission to chase your goals, because you already gave yourself permission when you got up before you had to. You already proved to yourself that you're serious. Ownership doesn't happen in one big decision. It's built day by day, action by action, morning by morning. And those early hours become a training ground, a place where you sharpen your thinking, where you practice commitment, where you build momentum. That momentum helps you stay strong, even when life gets tough, even when plans change, even when setbacks come. Because you've been waking up early, not just for the schedule, but for the strength. You've been preparing, showing up, doing the work quietly. And that quiet work becomes your foundation. Every time you rise early, you move with purpose. You no longer hand your time to chance. You no longer live based on what feels easy. You start leading yourself with clarity, and people around you will note, not because you said something, but because you've changed. You carry yourself with more calm. You speak with more direction. You walk with more confidence. That all comes from the inner work that happens when you own your mornings. You can start anytime. You don't need special conditions. You don't need perfect energy. You just need to want more from your life than needing. You just need to take responsibility. You just need to stop giving your first hour away to distractions or sleep and start giving it back to yourself. That's how you take ownership. That's how you begin to lead. That's how you start building a life that moves forward with purpose. Number 4, win your day by rising before the sunrise. The hours before the sun rises are different from the rest of the day. They carry a silence, a stillness, a kind of energy that cannot be found once the world starts moving. When you rise before the sunrise, you claim a part of the day that most people never use. You step into a space where there is no noise, no pressure, no distractions. It becomes your advantage. While others are sleeping, you're already awake, already moving, already making progress. That decision, repeated daily, separates the committed from the casual. It gives you the edge you've been missing, not just in time, but in mindset. Winning your day doesn't begin when the clock strikes 9 or when the tasks start piling up. It begins when you make the conscious choice to get up before the sun and set the tone yourself. You are not pulled into the rush. You're not scrambling to keep up. You begin calm, in control, ahead. And when you begin ahead, you move with clarity. You're not reacting, you're deciding. That's how days are won. Not with luck or by chance, but with quiet, early decisions that prepare you before life demands anything. When you rise before the sunrise, you start building structure into your life. You break away from randomness and create rhythm. You build a routine that grounds you. It's in that structure where strength is formed. It becomes a system that supports your goals. You know what you're doing and you know why you're doing it. You walk into your day with intention instead of confusion. That kind of clarity makes every other decision easier. It reduces stress. It increases focus. It gives you momentum that you carry through the next hours. Most people leave their mornings to chance. They wake up when the world demands it. They rush through routines. They start their days halfway behind. But when you wake before the sunrise, you create a morning that works for you, not against you. You own your time. You decide what gets your attention first. You set your priorities before anyone else has a say. That's not just discipline. That's leadership, self-leadership. And people who lead themselves consistently tend to lead in every other area too. There's also a deep mental strength that grows when you rise while others sleep. It's a quiet kind of confidence, built not from what people see, but from what you do in silence. You don't need to announce it. You don't need recognition. Just the act of getting up, staying consistent, moving forward when it's hard. Those choices create pride. That pride becomes fuel. It keeps you going when motivation runs low. It helps you push when things feel heavy. Because deep down, you know you've already ought in the hard thing first. You've already chosen to rise early, to face the day with purpose. Before the sun comes up, the world is slower. It's not yet pulling at you. That makes it the perfect time to reflect, to think clearly, to plan without pressure. You can ask yourself what matters most today. You can decide what action deserves your energy. You're not caught in the noise of comparison or reaction. You're rooted in your own values, your own goals. That stillness gives you perspective. It reminds you of where you're going, and more importantly, why you started. Those early hours also give you the opportunity to improve yourself without interruption. Whether it's resign something meaningful, writing your thoughts, stretching your body, or reviewing your goals, every minute you invest before the world wakes up makes you stronger. It prepares your mind. It energizes your body. It sharpens your focus. Those actions repeated daily don't just make you productive. They make you disciplined. And discipline is what keeps you going when inspiration disappears. Some people say they're not morning people, but this isn't about being naturally wired a certain way. This is about what you're committed to. It's about what you're willing to do to rise above the ordinary. You don't need to feel excited every morning. You just need to care enough to show up, to keep the promise you made to yourself, to remind yourself that the day does not control you. You control it. And that control starts before the sunrise. You win your day by creating a system that works whether you feel like it or not. Rising early becomes more than a habit. It becomes a symbol of self-respect. You respect yourself enough to use your time well. You no longer live on someone else's schedule. You're no longer at the mercy of alarms or deadlines. You've created your own structure. And in that structure, you build the life you want. Not quickly, but daily. Not all at once, but piece by piece. Before the sun touches the sky, you've already laid another brick. You don't need hours of free time to make this matter. Even 20 minutes before the world wakes up can shift your mindset. You can sit quietly, think clearly, move gently, read intention. You can reconnect with your goals, your values, your why. That brief moment of alignment gives you direction. It gives you emotional strength. It reminds you that you're not just going through the motions. You're here for a reason, and you're building something that matters. When you rise before the sunrise, you remove the excuse of not having time. You no longer say you didn't get to your priorities. You already did. While others slept, you moved. While others delayed, you began. That separation builds confidence. It builds momentum. You're not hoping your day goes well. You're setting it up to go well. And even if it doesn't go perfectly, you're grounded enough to handle it. Because you didn't start from a place of chaos. You started from strength. Winning the day doesn't require big victory. It requires consistent decisions, made with discipline. It requires showing up before thief gets loud. It requires saying yes to growth, even when it's inconvenient. And every time you rise before the sunrise, you're doing exactly that. You're choosing progress over comfort. You're choosing preparation over panic. You're choosing to move while the world stands still. That choice, made again and again, becomes a lifestyle. It shapes who you are becoming. It shapes the quality of your work, your thoughts, your relationships. You carry yourself different. You respond to pressure with more calm. You push forward with more strength. The world will always try to pull your attention. It will always offer distractions, delays, and demands. But when you've already won the first part of the day, you're ready. You've already taken the lead. You're not trying to catch up. You're not looking for clarity halfway through the day. You've already found it. Before the noise, before the movement, before the light. You earned it by rising early, by starting strong, by deciding that winning the day starts with how you meet the morning. Number 5, build self-control by waking up with discipline. Self-control doesn't come from reading about it or wishing for it. It's not something handed to you by others. It's something you develop with your actions. And one of the strongest ways to build it is by waking up with discipline. Getting out of bed when it's easier to stay in it. Moving forward when your mind tells you to wait. Making a choice that isn't comfortable, but is right. That's where real control begins. Not in the big moments, but in the small decisions you repeat every single morning. When you wake up with discipline, you take charge of your behavior. You no longer depend on motivation or the perfect mood. You move because you said you would. You stop letting your feelings lead and start letting your decisions lead. That shift gives you power. Because now you're not being pushed around by your emotions. You're not pulled back by your habits. You're doing what needs to be done, regardless of how it feels in the moment. Discipline in the morning shapes the rest of your day. It gives you proof that you're in control, that you can delay comfort, that you can act with intention, even when it's not easy, that self-control grows like a muscle. And the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Waking up early becomes your training ground, your private arena, where you face resistance and overcome it, where you win small battles that others never even see. The alarm goes off, and you have a choice. Hit snooze and drift back into sleep, or stand up and take command of your life. Every time you choose to rise instead of retreat, you're building something deeper than a habit. You're building your capacity to lead yourself. You're proving that you don't wait for life to push you. You push yourself. That moment of discipline sets a tone. And that tone echoes into how you speak, how you act, how you handle stress, how you respond to challenges. Discipline doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't need to be loud. Often, it's silent. It happens in the dark, before the sun comes up, when no one's watching. It happens when you decide that your word matters, that your goals are more important than temporary pleasure, that you don't negotiate with laziness anymore. You act because it's right, not because it's easy. Waking up with discipline helps you avoid the trap of inconsistency. So many people start things with excitement and then disappear when it gets hard. They're ruled by their energy levels, by their distractions, by their comfort zones. But when you discipline yourself to wake up and take action every day, you train your mind to stay focused even when the excitement fades. That gives you an advantage. You become reliable. You become steady. You become someone others can count on. but more importantly, someone you can count on. Think of what happens when you don't wake up with discipline. You start the day behind. You feel scattered. You react instead of lead. You make decisions from a place of pressure, not clarity. Over time, that pattern creates stress. It drains your energy. It keeps you from becoming the kind of person you know you could be. And deep down, it hurts your confidence, because you know you're capable of more. But you're not proving it to yourself. On the other hand, every day you wake up early with purpose. You restore your belief in yourself. You rebuild your confidence. You create a small victory before the day even begins. That victory doesn't need applause. It doesn't need reward. The reward is the strength you build by doing what most people avoid. The reward is knowing you are the one directing your life. Self-control isn't about perfection. It's about direction. It's about keeping your focus, even when things get messy. It's about moving forward, even when your body and mind are tired. It's about honoring your plan, not your mood. And the more you wake up with discipline, the more that mindset becomes part of you. You stop looking for shortcuts. You stop hoping for easy answers. You start building character. When you wake up with discipline, you remind yourself that you're not powerless. You're not stuck. You're not at the mercy of circumstances. You are a person with choices, and you're making the hard choice to rise, to move, to begin. That kind of strength carries into every area of life, into your work, your relationships, your health, your goals. Because when you can control your mornings, you start to control your outcomes. You may not feel like it every day. That's normal. You will have days where it's hard, where you want to quit, where the comfort of sleep calls louder than your ambition. But that's where the growth lives, right in that tension. And when you rise anyway, when you fight through it, you come out sharper, you come out strong, you build the kind of inner strength that doesn't fade. Most people think discipline is about restriction. It's not. It's about freedom. The freedom to choose what's best instead of what's easy. The freedom to lead your day instead of be led by it. The freedom to look at yourself in the mirror and know you're giving your best effort. That kind of freedom is earned through choices that feel hard in the moment, but feel right in the long run. Waking up with discipline is one of those choices. And when you repeat it day after day, it stops feeling like pressure. It starts feeling like peace. You no longer argue with yourself. In the morning, you rise because it's who you are now. A person who leads, a person who shows up, a person who lives with control, not chaos. That identity shift doesn't happen in one moment. It happens in thousands of early mornings, quietly stacking up, slowly reshaping the way you see yourself. The discipline to wake up early isn't just about the morning. It's about what that discipline does to your mind. It gives you structure. It gives you grit. It gives you a foundation you can rely on. When the rest of life gets uncertain, you can still count on one thing. You'll get up, you'll show up, and you'll do the work. That consistency creates stability. And that stability is what helps you move through hard seasons without falling apart. Each time you wake up with discipline, you're planting a seed of strength, a seed of progress, a seed of transformation. And over time, those seeds grow into results, into confidence, into character. That's how you build self-control, not with words, but with actions, not with wishes, but with decisions. One morning at a time, one early rise at a time, one quiet promise kept to yourself. Number 6, use early mornings to work on your dreams. There is something special about the early morning hours. When most people are still asleep, those who rise early find time that is free from distractions and interruptions. This quiet time offers an opportunity that few take advantage of. The chance to work on dreams. Not just talk about them, not just wish for them, but actively move toward them. The morning provides a kind of space where your mind is clear, your energy is fresh, and your focus can be sharp. This is when you can give your dreams the attention they deserve, before life demands your time. Dreams require effort. They demand action. But often people push their dreams aside because they say they don't have enough time. They wait for the right moment, the perfect conditions, or the energy that may never come. Early mornings remove those excuses. By waking up early, you create time before the noise of the day begins. That time is precious because it is yours alone. It belongs to your goals, your ambitions, your vision for what you want to build. When you use early mornings to work on your dreams, you set yourself apart. While others hit the snooze button, you're already moving forward. While others scroll through social media or get distracted by daily tasks, you're investing in your future. That investment doesn't have to be huge. It could be writing a paragraph, reading a chapter, planning a next step, making a call, or practicing a skill. Every small action compounds, every minute adds up. And it all begins with the decision to use those early hours intentionally. This time is not just about productivity. It's about creating connection with what matters most. It's a chance to remind yourself why you started, to feel the excitement of progress, to renew your commitment when the world around you might make you doubt. When you work on your dreams early in the morning, you strengthen your mindset. You remind yourself daily that your goals are not just fantasies. They are priorities, and you're willing to do the work. The early morning has less noise, fewer distractions, and more peace. That makes it easier to focus. You can think deeply about your plans. You can make clear decisions without pressure. You can create without interruption. Most people's best ideas don't come in the middle of chaos, but in quiet moments. When you give your dreams that quiet attention, they grow. You build clarity about the steps needed. You gain motivation because you see progress. That clarity and motivation carry you through the rest of the day. Using mornings for your dreams also helps avoid the trap of exhaustion. By the time the afternoon or evening comes, your energy is lower, your focus weaker, and your mind crowded with daily stresses. If you wait until then to work on your dreams, it's easy to skip it or do it half-heartedly. But when you get up early and put your energy into what first, you ensure that your most important work gets done with your best focus. That's a powerful advantage. Some might say they don't have the energy or discipline to wake up early for their dreams. But discipline grows from action. You build it by doing. You prove to yourself that your dreams deserve sacrifice. You train your mind to stay committed, even when it's uncomfortable. That's the foundation of success. Waking up early isn't a punishment. It's a choice to prioritize your future. Your dreams are not going to build themselves. They need your hands, your time, your effort. They need consistency. And there is no better way to be consistent than by using early mornings to keep moving forward. You don't have to do everything at once. You just have to do something. And doing something every morning adds up faster than you think. Day by day, week by week, those small efforts become breakthroughs. It's also about setting a tone for your whole day. When you begin by working on your dreams, you carry a sense of purpose and accomplishment with you. You don't just react to life. You lead it. You don't just survive the day, you make progress. That mindset influences everything you do after. It builds momentum that can't be stopped. The choice to work on your dreams early isn't just about time management. It's about respect. Respect for yourself and your potential. Respect for the life you want to create. When you give your dreams the best hours of your day, you're sending a clear message to your mind and heart. I believe in this. I'm serious about this, and I'm willing to do what it takes. No one can do your work for you. No one can dream for you. Only you have the power to move your vision forward. And the early morning is one of the most powerful tools you have. Use it. Protect it. Honor it. When you rise early and work on your dreams, you're investing in a future where your goals are no longer just hopes, but realities. Dreams thrive in action. They grow when given attention. They become achievable when you consistently put in the effort. And the effort starts with the morning you choose to wake up and work. That choice makes all the difference between a life waiting to happen and a life happening now. Every morning you decide to work on your dreams. You build a bridge from where you are to where you want to be. That bridge is built with early mornings, focus, and steady commitment. Keep building it one day at a time. Number 7. Rise early to plan and prepare your day. The act of waking up early is more than just a habit. It's an opportunity, a chance to take control of your day before it controls you. When you rise early, you give yourself time to plan and prepare. This preparation isn't about rushing or overloading yourself. It's about intentionally deciding how you want your day to unfold. You begin with a clear mind and a focused heart. You shape your actions rather than being shaped by circumstances. Planning your day early means you're not reacting to what happens. Instead, you decide what's important before distractions arrive. Most people wake up and immediately get caught in the chaos. Emails, messages, noise. Their day gets pulled in 100 directions. But when you rise early and take time to plan, you become the leader of your time. You map out your priorities. You decide which tasks deserve your energy and which don't. That clarity reduces stress and increases your ability to accomplish what matters. The quiet hours of the morning provide the best environment for reflection and strategy. There are no interruptions. There's no pressure from deadlines or people demanding your attention. You have space to look at your goals, your schedule, and your commitment. You can break down big projects into manageable steps. You can think clearly about how to solve problems. That early planning gives you a sense of direction that carries through the entire day. When you prepare your day in the morning, you also reduce the chance of being overwhelmed. It's easy to feel buried under a long to-do list if you don't know where to start. But when you have a plan, you have a roadmap. You know what comes first and what can wait. You make better decisions about how to spend your time. You avoid wasting energy on things that don't move you forward. That kind of preparation is a form of self-respect. It shows that you value your time and your potential. Getting up early to plan also creates mental calm. Instead of jumping into your day feeling rushed or reactive, you create space to breathe. You can take a few moments to center yourself, focus on your intentions, and visualize success. This mental clarity improves your mood, your focus, and your problem-solving ability. You're not just crossing off tasks, you're moving with purpose. The habit of planning in the early morning also helps you catch issues before they become emergencies. You can spot challenges, prepare solutions, and adjust your approach. When problems come up later in the day, you're ready. You don't panic. You don't scramble. You respond with confidence because you already anticipated some of the obstacles. That preparedness is a key part of success. Many people underestimate the power of a morning plan because it seems simple or obvious. But simple actions repeated consistently create extraordinary results. When you begin every day with a plan, you build reliability. You build trust with yourself. You prove that you can manage your time and your responsibilities. And that confidence spills into other areas of life, helping you handle pressure, make decisions, and set boundaries. Planning your day early also allows you to align your activities with your long-term goals. It's easy to get caught up in urgent tasks and forget what really matters. But the morning is your chance to review your priorities and ensure your daily actions contribute to your bigger vision. This alignment keeps you motivated. It keeps your focus sharp. It prevents you from drifting into busyness that doesn't lead anywhere meaningful. The process of rising early to plan your day isn't about perfection. It's about intention. You don't need to have everything figured out or create a rigid schedule. You simply take a few moments to decide what's most important, what you want to achieve, how you're going to approach your day. That approach builds discipline and mental strength. It gives you control over your life, rather than feeling like life controls you. When you get into the habit of planning early, you become proactive rather than reactive. You start each day prepared to meet challenges with clear thinking and calm. That mindset reduces anxiety and increases productivity. It allows you to focus on quality over quantity. You do the right work, not just the busy work. And as a result, you move closer to your goals every day. The practice of preparing your day in the morning also supports better decision-making throughout the day. You've already decided what's important, so you're less likely to get distracted by unproductive requests or activity. You set boundaries around your time because you know what you're committed to. That focus helps you stay on track, even when distractions arise. Rising early to plan is a gift you give yourself. It's a moment of control in a world that often feels chaotic. You start your day on your terms. You decide your priorities. You set your pace, and because you've taken time to prepare, you carry a sense of calm and confidence that impacts everything you do. Every day is an opportunity to create a life that reflects your values and ambition. When you wake up early and take time to plan, you make that opportunity real. You turn ideas into action. You turn dells into progress. You turn potential into results. That kind of intentional living doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you show up early, prepare thoughtfully, and lead your day with purpose. This habit builds over time. Each morning you spend planning adds to your ability to manage challenges, seize opportunities, and maintain focus. You become someone who doesn't just survive the day, but wins it. You develop a mindset where you trust yourself to handle whatever comes, because you began with a clear plan. The peace that comes from preparation changes your energy. It makes your work smoother. It makes your interactions better. It makes your decisions smarter. It makes your progress steady. When you rise early to plan and prepare, you're not just organizing your schedule. You're setting yourself up for success. You're honoring your goals. You're investing in a life where you move forward with confidence and clarity every single day. Number 8, start your morning early to develop inner strength. Inner strength is not something that appears overnight. It's a quality built steadily through daily choices, repeated actions, and moments when you decide to keep moving forward, despite difficulty. One of the most powerful ways to develop this kind of strength is by starting your morning early. Waking before the world stirs gives you a quiet space to practice discipline, face resistance, and build resilience. It's a small but consistent challenge that shapes your character and prepares you to handle whatever the day brings. When you wake up early, you face a choice. Your body asks for more rest. Your mind offers excuses to stay in comfort. Yet, you push past that resistance. You stand up, move, and begin. That simple act becomes a daily exercise in mental toughness. Each morning you rise early. You're saying to yourself that you will not be controlled by comfort or laziness. You choose action over ease. That choice creates strength because it requires willpower and commitment. You practice saying no to temptation and yes to growth. The morning is the perfect time to develop this inner strength because distractions are minimal. There is no rush, no urgent emails, no immediate demand. You have a moment to connect with yourself and set your intentions for the day. In that silence, you build focus, you build clarity, you build a deeper understanding of what you want and what you're willing to work for. That connection to your purpose fuels your inner strength, making you less dependent on external motivation and more driven by internal resolve. Strength grows not only from action, but from reflection. When you start early, you give yourself space to reflect on your goals, your challenges, and your progress. You review what worked and what didn't. You make adjustments. This daily check-in helps you stay on track and reminds you that growth is a process. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. That mindset reduces frustration and builds patience, both essential parts of inner strength. Waking early also trains your mind to handle discomfort. It's not always easy to leave the warmth of your bed or to face the cold quiet of the early hour. But this small discomfort, practiced every day, prepares you for bigger challenges. It builds your tolerance for hardship. It strengthens your ability to stay calm under pressure. It creates a foundation for endurance. When life throws obstacles at you, you're better equipped to meet them because you've already proven to yourself that you can handle discomfort and keep going. This process of rising early and developing inner strength is not about punishment. It's about self-care at a higher level. It's about honoring your potential. You're giving yourself the gift of time and mental space to grow stronger. You're choosing to invest in the part of you that is responsible for your future success and happiness. That investment pays off by making you more resilient, more confident, and more capable. Many people wait for strength to come from external events. They believe strength will appear when circumstances improve or when they feel more motivated. But true strength is built in small moments, in repeated choices to act despite discomfort or doubt. Waking early is one of those moments. It's a daily reminder that you control your actions, regardless of how you feel. That control is the root of inner strength. This practice also impacts your mindset throughout the day. Starting early with intention puts you in a position of power. You're no longer chasing your schedule, you're leading it. You carry a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you have already done what most people want. That confidence affects how you handle stress, how you make decisions, and how you respond to setbacks. You become someone who doesn't give up easily because you've trained yourself to persevere. Building inner strength through early mornings also strengthens your ability to focus. With fewer distractions, your mind becomes sharper. You can dedicate attention to important tasks or personal growth activities. This focus creates momentum. You accomplish more in less time. That success builds motivation and reinforces your commitment to waking early again. It's a positive cycle that elevates your strength over time. Starting your morning early is a way to show respect for yourself. It's a statement that you value your dreams and your goals enough to make sacrifices. That respect grows into self-trust. When you consistently choose discipline, you learn to trust your ability to keep commitments. Self-trust is crucial for inner strength because it means you believe in your own power to overcome challenges and create the life you want. Inner strength is also about emotional resilience. Waking early gives you time to prepare emotionally for the day. You can practice gratitude, set positive intentions, or meditate. These practices help regulate your views and build mental toughness. When challenges arise, you're less likely to be overwhelmed or reactive. You face difficulties with calmness and clarity because you started your day grounded. The early morning is your training ground. It's where you build habits that support strength, discipline, and focus. It's where you create the foundation for success. Over time, those early mornings add up to a powerful transformation. You become someone who meets life head-on, with courage and resolve. Someone who doesn't wait for strength to appear but creates it every day. Strength developed through early rising is lasting because it is earned. It is not dependent on motivation or luck. It is built on action, on consistency, on the willingness to do what others won't, especially when it's difficult. This kind of strength empowers you to take control of your life, to face uncertainty with confidence, to push through obstacles, to keep growing no matter the circumstances. Each morning you choose to rise raisy. You reinforce your commitment to yourself. You show that you are ready to face the day, to handle whatever comes, and to grow through it. That is how inner strength is built. Not in moments of ease, but in moments of choice and effort. The early morning is the place where those moments happen first, and most often. Embrace it as your opportunity to develop the kind of strength that changes everything. Number 9. Create peace and focus by waking up early. Waking up early gives you a chance to begin your day with calmness instead of chaos. The world is quieter in those hours before most people rise. There are fewer distractions, less noise, and more space to think clearly. When you take advantage of that quiet time, you create peace inside yourself. You allow your mind to settle before the demands and pressures of the day appear. That peace is not just a feeling. It's a foundation for focus and productivity. Starting the day with peace changes everything. Instead of rushing from one task to another or reacting to problems, you start grounded. You are able to approach your responsibilities with a calm mind. You think more clearly. Your decisions become sharper because they come from a place of control, not panic. When the day feels overwhelming, that early peace keeps you steady. It becomes a mental anchor that helps you handle stress with more ease. The focus that comes from waking early is a result of that peace. When your mind is not cluttered by distractions, it can settle on what matters most. You can prioritize your work, your goals, and your relationships. You can block out everything else and give your attention fully to one thing at a time. That kind of focus improves the quality of your work and speeds up your progress. It reduces mistakes and increases satisfaction because you are fully present. The early morning also offers a chance to set intentions for your day. In a quiet space, you can think about what you want to achieve and how you want to show up. That intention setting is powerful. It directs your energy and attention toward your priorities. When distractions come later, you have a clear reason to stay on track. You remind yourself why you started and what you're working toward. That sense of purpose helps maintain focus, even in difficult moments. Peace and focus in the morning support emotional well-being. When you wake up rushing or feeling behind, anxiety and stress quickly build. Your body reacts to that stress with tension and fatigue. Your mind becomes scattered and overwhelmed. But starting early with calmness allows you to manage your emotions better. You can practice breathing, gratitude, or meditation. These small actions reduce tension and create a mental environment where focus grows naturally. Creating peace early also helps in avoiding distractions later. When you begin the day with control, you're less likely to fall into traps like endless social media scrolling, multitasking, or procrastination. You start strong, and that strength carries through your day. You develop habits that protect your attention. You become intentional about where you put your energy. Over time, this creates a cycle of productivity and calm that shapes your overall lifestyle. The ability to focus deeply is rare in today's world. It is easy to get pulled in many directions. Notifications, meetings, errands, all compete for your attention. But when you wake early and practice peace, you build resistance to that pull. You create a mental space where focus is easier. You train yourself to give your best to important tasks, instead of spreading yourself thin. This ability is a major advantage in work and life. Peace and focus gained from waking early don't happen automatically. They require discipline and practice. You must choose to rise and invest time in yourself before the day begins. That investment pays off in clarity, efficiency, and well-being. You learn to control your morning, which leads to controlling your reactions during the day. That control increases your confidence and your ability to meet challenges without feeling overwhelmed. Starting the day with calmness changes your relationship with time. Instead of feeling like there's never enough of it, you feel more in command. You make deliberate choices about how to spend your hours. You learn that peace is not a luxury but a necessity for clear thinking. That realization shifts how you plan your day and how you handle interruptions. You become proactive, not reactive. Morning peace also influences your creativity and problem solving. When your mind is relaxed, new ideas come more easily. You see solutions that might be hidden when you're stressed. You can approach problems with a fresh perspective. That creativity leads to better decisions and improved outcomes. The time before the world wakes becomes a laboratory for your best thinking. This practice also strengthens your emotional resilience. When you begin the day in a peaceful state, you are better able to handle criticism, setbacks, or unexpected challenges. Your reactions become measured. You respond instead of reacting. That emotional balance supports healthier relationships and reduces burnout. It helps you stay committed to your goals without being discouraged by obstacles. Creating peace and focus by waking early is a gift to yourself. It allows you to build a life where you lead with intention rather than drift through distraction. Each morning you invest in calmness. You build a stronger foundation for success. You build habits that support mental clarity and emotional strength. You prepare yourself to meet the day with confidence and calm. That kind of preparation transforms ordinary days into meaningful progress. It changes how you experience your work, your relationships, and your personal growth. It creates space for joy and satisfaction. Because you are not constantly overwhelmed, you are living with control. You are living with purpose. Peace and focus are not accidental. They are earned through the choice to wake up early and claim those hours for yourself. They grow with consistent practice. Each morning you rise, you strengthen your mind and heart. You prepare yourself to make better decisions, act with more clarity, and live with more peace. The early morning becomes your secret advantage, a quiet place where you build the life you want. Number 10. Get ahead in life by waking up early. Waking up early is one of the simplest yet most effective ways to gain an advantage in life. It's not a secret, and it's not complicated. It's a choice, a daily decision that sets you apart from the majority. When you rise before others, you gain time that most people lose to sleep or distraction. This extra time is a powerful resource because life doesn't wait. Opportunities come to those who prepare and act. Waking early gives you the chance to prepare, to move forward, and to stay ahead. The people who get ahead don't necessarily work harder than others. They often work smarter by using their time wisely. Early mornings provide the best opportunity to work smarter. You begin your day with a clear mind and a fresh body. Your focus is sharper. Your energy is higher. There are fewer interruptions. This means you can do your best thinking and your most important work when you are at your best. Those hours set the tone for the rest of your day. Getting ahead means taking control of your life and your schedule. It means not waiting for things to happen or for motivation to strike. It means acting consistently and intentionally. Waking up early is a direct expression of that mindset. You start by showing up for yourself. You commit to your goals and your growth. Every morning you rise early. You prove to yourself that you're serious about getting ahead. Using early mornings to your advantage helps you build momentum. When you accomplish important tasks first thing, you feel a sense of progress. That feeling energizes you and pushes you through the day. Momentum is powerful because it's contagious. It influences how you think and act. When you get up early and get moving, you create momentum that others might not have. That momentum leads to results, and results lead to more. Waking early also allows you to stay ahead of deadlines and obligations. When you start your day with preparation, you avoid last-minute stress. You have time to plan, organize, and adjust your approach if needed. That planning reduces errors and increases efficiency. You don't get caught scrambling. You get to lead your day instead of chasing it. That sense of control is a major advantage in both personal and professional life. Getting ahead isn't only about work or productivity. It's about balance and growth. Early mornings give you time to focus on yourself before others demand your attention. You can exercise, read, meditate, or reflect. These activities improve your health, your mindset, and your clarity. When you take care of yourself first, you perform better in all areas of life. You build the foundation for sustainable success, not just short bursts. The decision to wake up early requires discipline. It means saying no to comfort and distractions. That discipline is itself a sign that you're getting ahead. Many people know what they should do but don't do it. They stay stuck in habits that keep them behind. Choosing to rise early means you're breaking free from those habits. You're making choices that push you forward. This choice also signals to your mind what's important. When you consistently get up early, you prioritize your goals and dreams. Your mind adapts to this rhythm. You become more productive and more focused. You learn to manage your energy better. That natural rhythm helps you perform at your best throughout the day. Getting ahead is about managing your time and energy effectively. Early rising is the key that unlocks this ability. Being ahead means you have more options. You're not rushed or pressured. You have time to think, plan, and execute with care. This advantage reduces mistakes and stress. It gives you confidence. You can seize opportunities that others miss because you are prepared. You can solve problems before they become emergencies. You build a reputation as someone who is reliable and capable. That reputation opens doors and creates new possibilities. The benefits of waking up early extend beyond immediate results. They compound over time. Each early morning builds your habits, your mindset, and your skills. That steady progress leads to breakthroughs. It shapes your character and your future. People who get ahead know that success is a journey, not a destination. They understand that consistent effort is more powerful than occasional bursts. Rising early is a simple but powerful way to stay on that journey. Life moves fast, and time is limited. Getting ahead means making the most of every moment. It means choosing action over hesitation. It means valuing your goals enough to sacrifice short-term comfort. Waking up early is a daily expression of those values. It is a hint that you are ready to lead your life, to take responsibility, and to pursue your dreams with urgency. The power of waking early is that it sets everything else in motion. It allows you to approach your day with clarity, energy, and purpose. It increases your productivity and your confidence. It builds momentum and resilience. It gives you control over your time and your future. When you consistently get up early, you position yourself ahead of the crowd. You become the person who makes things happen, who seizes opportunity, who wins the day. Getting ahead in life is not about luck or talent alone. It's about the choices you make every day. Choosing to wake up early is one of the best choices you can make. It gives you the gift of time, the power of discipline, and the advantage of focus. That combination leads to success that lasts. It leads to a life where you're not just keeping up, but leading the way. Rising early is your path forward, step by step, day by day toward the future you want to create.